So here we are, we're installing ribs. They're laminated 2 layers that allows you to get in between all these stringers. And it would be nice to go all the way up to the deck. It would be faster, but we're trying to keep a lot of the upper ribs. They have location holes for panelings and seats and everything. So this is more labor intensive, but we're keeping a lot more of 1939 in the boat. Okay, so I'm going to work it over a little bit. Now, I'd like that guy to stay there. So, I'm going to try to clamp it like that. Try to get it over and get it set in there just that little bit. Now I'm pretty tight. I'm probably over tight. I'm probably shoving the planking out a little bit. And so if I don't like my cuts and if I feel like I'm too tight, put a foot on here, get my cord undangled. It is possible to change the shape of the outside of the boat. This thicker planking would be harder, but smaller Lymans with 3/8 planking on the sides, you can push them out.
If you're too tight.
If you're too tight. And then when you go to paint the hull, you're like, why is it roller coasted? So I'm going to cut this one. I have to be able to work this up on top. This is kind of where you have to say, you know, you're gonna listen to me. You can do it the hard way or the knuckle busted way. Okay, now when I got it like that, then I want to do that, and then I'm going to work it this way. And this is all because we can't get a full thickness rib in. All this horsing around, but if they're done right, they're actually stronger because I have grain runouts in different directions. I have the glue line. There's the hanger. So here we're bolting everything together to get a good contact, pull all those ribs together, and once everything's dry and cleaned up, we'll have to pull all of those bolts and replace them with rivets. So they're again very labor intensive, and all 52 ribs were so rotten down along the keel they've had to be replaced. And once you get to the forekeel, there's a port rib and a starboard rib, so that 52 ribs really turns into about, I don't know, 65, 70 ribs.
So one little screw right there that won't be in the way. Give me just a little squeeze, a little sploosh. One rib, more or less installed. On to the next one. So this rib, I put the stair step joint back here when the knee was out, and then worked it in, and it's screwed through here, and then another clamp on top, and then screwed into the knee. But these are the same shiplap we were doing in there, with a couple with a screw and a clamp, and then screwed to our structure, be it the knee or the keel or the stem. And I've done a few of these because they're virtually straight, but when I get back to this one, it's got an arc to it. So I have to build what I call a bird cage, and that's some 1-bys that are clamped to make that shape, and they'll be done in 2 layers. And I gotta just keep working back. And in some cases, if I don't like the wood here, I'll have to be up higher and go inside the boat and do the stair step, and in some cases have a person outside and a person inside because of just the ability to be in there. This will get shaped down, but I don't shape it in case it's got a little twist to it, if the boat has changed shape and it's moved over a little bit this way. So once all this glue is dry, I will start shaping it, and it will taper down in this area. It'll get to where it's full width. So before the planking is on, I will shape most of it with a power planer, get my plugs in, because I won't have any planking to hit, and then usually finish the last little bit with grinders and sanders when the planking is in.
These are the temporary bolts that go through the hull to hold the ribs down. So since we're going to do full thickness ribs in the back, we're going to have to bolt them immediately. When we do the half ribs, we have the caulk there, so we don't put the bolts in, we just clamp it and put wedges in.
Yeah.
This one we can't do that.
Okay. Okay, hold up. Okay. Okay, Isaac, sit, David. Kind of. Years ago, lady, I don't know if the kid was just over visiting, but he was 7, 8-year-old kid, and he's like, "Mister, how do you get that wood to bend like that?" And I'm like, he probably has played with a 2x4, and those things don't bend. And he's looking at all this shape, and you can tell his mind's working like, I can't do that. How did he do that? But it's all about, you know, how thin the wood is, what kind of pressure you have against it, is it steam bent, you know, whatever.